Doing it this way lets you hike along with the drone, fly from different spots, brings you into areas that you just couldn't fly before. And it's fun. Is this thing on? You click this video because you're curious about the title. The Mini 2 has a secret trick, and it does. So let's zoom in a little bit. I'll get right to it. Now this is the Mini 2. It is a small, can you hear me? Can you even hear me? This is the Mini 2, which DJI just released, and it is a beast of a drone. I've been doing all kinds of test videos with this little guy, and it is blowing me away. It is incredibly light and way more durable than you probably think it is. If you haven't flown a drone before, or if you have this drone, you already know what a beast it really is. If you're wondering about the glasses, the sun's like shining right down on my face. We're gonna go ahead and turn this little guy on, and I'm gonna show you a cool little trick that if you hand launch and hand catch, this is something you wanna know that you can do with this drone. The sun just went behind a cloud. There you go. Now I can't see anything again. So let's go ahead and get this turned on, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right there on the bottom, just a little tappy tap. Now once you have everything on and hooked up, you just make sure you put your little phone in there and connect it, and everything's good to go. If you hand launch and hand catch, you already know the basics. You can either hold the screen to be able to take off out of your hands, but what I like to do is just take your thumbsticks, pull them together so it starts the drone. See how it started right there? You can just barely hear it. Hear that? But notice when you start moving it around, oh, now it's almost ready to go. See? Hear that? You can just let go. The point is you can actually throw your drone to actually take off. So if we start the props like I just showed you, and you just throw the drone up in the air, that's it. Did you know you could do that? Did you know that you could throw your drone? Now it doesn't mean that you can throw it like a football, but you start the props, I'm gonna throw it towards you. Now you can hear it barely going, and we're just gonna, right there. What do you think of that? Something you didn't know, right? So if you didn't know it, that makes it a secret. But you can share the secret. So make sure you share this video with everyone you know who had no clue you could do that with your drone. Let's do it again. Start your props. Throw it. It's so much fun. Let's do it again. This is a short video, and since you're here already, let me teach those of you who are new to drones, or new since you just maybe got the Mavic Mini 2 or the Mini 2 for Christmas, or maybe you bought it for yourself because you know you gotta buy yourself a Christmas gift, and you have not learned how to master taking off by hand or landing in your hand. You don't want to land and take off in the snow or rocky terrain or sand. There are a couple of different ways that you can hand take off your drone, but to safely do it, you have to keep your fingers under where the props are. So that means this little line right there, you see this little line? Can you see that? Can you see the little line? Look, they can't hit your finger when they're there. I'm telling you, just all you got to do is hold it here, and no matter what you do, they can't hit your finger on takeoff. So there's two ways to do it. One is to go ahead and on the app, you can see this little button right here that says takeoff, and then you push that and you hold that, and that starts the props. And not only does it start the props, but it goes up on its own. When you're using that little button, you just put your controller against your hip, pretty easy. Push the button until you see the little takeoff screen, hold the takeoff screen, and then it goes. That easy. Now the second way to hand take off is to pull your sticks together, which starts the props, and then you can either throw it like I already showed you, or just push up on the stick. Super easy. Now we gotta go over catching, because if you're in a place that you can't take off, then obviously you're not gonna be able to land very easily either. There are multiple ways to do this with the Mavic style drones, which you can go to this video here in the corner when you're done with this one, and I go over all of it. There's some great ways to do it, but it's really, really, really simple. So let me get this up in the air. With the bottom sensors on, there's two ways that you can do it. You can either put your hand out flat and have it land in your hand that way, or you can grab it. If you grab it, you have to pay attention to those spots that I showed you earlier where you don't want the props to be able to hit your fingers. They can hurt pretty bad, and if you ask my buddy Henrik, they can even draw blood. So you do need to be careful. So all you do is come down with your stick, and if you got, let's move it. Woo! I just landed on my back. Good to go. For in your palm, just put your palm under it, and when you pull down on the stick, you'll see it sort of stops, it finds your hands, goes up, and then it'll come right back down, and you just sort of keep your hand under it. Landing. I personally am not a huge fan of that, although a lot of people use that way. I like the grab it kind of method. I know people say, don't do it that way. It's the way I like, okay? So that's the way I do it. Let me show you. Same thing, except now I'm putting my hand up like so. So when it comes down, it goes right into my fingers. But notice where my fingers were. Nowhere near the freaking props. I'm not gonna get cut. I'm not gonna be careless. I'm gonna pay attention to what I'm doing, and I'm gonna easily hand catch my drone. Maybe you live on a beach. Maybe you live in some rocky terrain that is just not level. Doing it this way lets you hike along with the drone, fly from different spots, brings you into areas that you just couldn't fly before. And it's fun. Take off. There's one other way to hand catch, and I don't recommend doing this unless it's an emergency, and that is the emergency shutoff that DJI puts into their drones. I made a video about it right there. DJI does not recommend you do this because it can mess up your gimbal. I've known other people that own DJI drones, they do this, mess up their gimbal, have to send it back in and deal with customer support. DJI support, my name is Emil. How can I help you today? But that way I'll show you just so you're aware of it and you know. So let me show you exactly what happens then. So say something's going on and you gotta grab your drone. Maybe you're over water or something bad's about to happen. Maybe it's about to come down and hit someone in the face. Who knows? Something that shouldn't be happening is happening. Maybe you don't even have the controller. We're gonna put the controller down, hands free. You just reach over, grab it, and turn it upside down like that. Once it gets to about right there, props shut off, and it's done. I don't recommend doing that, especially with this little guy because his gimbal is very sensitive, and if you end up jacking up your gimbal, that's on you. So those are a couple of secrets about the DJI Mini 2. That hand throwing thing, it's not quite like throwing a football, but it's pretty awesome. See what I'm talking about? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Sean Oz. This is the World of Oz. If you have not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button. Click the little bell notification so when I upload new content, you get notified. And remember, sharing is caring. Share a video because it's Christmas time and, you know, spread the love. Let's see if we can get this channel up to 18,000 before the new year. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I forgot, there's merch in the description. If you like to buy t-shirts and merch and support the channel that way, check it out. I drew all that stuff. It's good to go.